This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Auburn Finance Committee. Today's Wednesday, July 12th, 6:30. We're having a meeting here at the Auburn Town Hall. I'm going to read the remote participation script. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Finance Committee is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of the public bodies are allowed to participate remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, 1-786-535-3211, access code 991-599-357, or the public can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com, join 991-599-357. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. All of our meeting members, all of our committee members are present, so we do not need to read the full script. On the agenda for tonight is our call to order, which we've done. We're going to review and vote on some transfer requests. I do not believe there are any minutes received for this meeting, so nothing on that one, and that is all. We've got in person with us here, so if we can take the, you good? The police, we'll take the police department transfer request first. Deputy Chief Mills. So the first transfer request coming from the overtime account, the amount requested $3,029.02, heading to the dispatcher account. Reason for the transfer, to correct a line deficit. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second request, coming from the Sergeant Quinbill account, amount requested $57.08, going to the dispatcher account. Again, reason for transfer, to complete deficit corrections as above.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Unanimous. The next one from the patrol officer's account, amount requested $360, going to the sergeant's account. Reason for the transfer, to account for past step raise to one sergeant. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the last one from the police department, also coming from the patrol officer's account, the amount requested $549.53, going to the court account. Reason given, correction to line deficit. Questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Chief. Back into order. The next one, the assessor's office. Do we have anybody from the assessor's office?
Motion to take all four as one, since we're all going to the same account.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to take all four as one. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have anybody from the assessor's office that's called in?
Yeah, hi, this is Seth Willard, Town of Auburn Assessing Division. I'm on the phone.
Hi, Seth. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Since these are all going to reevaluation, do you want to just give us a brief cost relative to this? It looks like it's one invoice.
All the transfers were just kind of overages or excess funds, and they were to pay RRC, which is our personal property vendor, for their 4 days of list and measure, so.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the reasons? Okay, we'll go right down the list. First account from the appellate cases account. The amount requested $2,100, going to the reevaluation account. Reason given, to cover costs of a FY23 RRC invoice. The next one of the four that we're taking together, the training account. The amount requested $325, also going to reevaluation. Same reason, to cover costs of FY23 RRC invoice. The next one under dues, from the dues account, the amount requested $239, going to reevaluation, cover costs of FY23 RRC. And the last one from the travel account, amount requested $130 $36, also going to reevaluation, cover cost of FY '23 RSC. And just to note, on the ones we received, there was one, the account, not the same, but that is all going to that same account number, right, on the third line down? Yes. Thank you. Okay, any
Correct,
additional
yes.
questions relative to those 4 transfers?
Motion approved.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, the next transfer request from the Packagug Golf Course. This request could not possibly be in a smaller font. The seasonal golf account. The amount requested, $1,409.65, going to the banking charges account. Reason given for the transfer, to reconcile the account. Any questions for the CFO?
Motion. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this transfer request is going to be coming from the reserve account. It's going to be going to the Employee Benefits Medicare account. The amount requested, $35,056.75. That seems to, will close out that account, am I correct? It says the amount from that account, am I correct? Well, the deficit in that account is that amount, is that correct? The reason for the shortage in said account, to fund Medicare costs for teachers' summer pays. Payrolls were processed in FY '23 rather than being encumbered. This resulted in a timing issue for the Medicare expense in FY '23. The Medicare charges will be consistent in future years. CFO, do you have just a summary on that one as to, I know it's sort of explained in there, but can you just explain?
Sure, so I discussed this with the school because that's the procedure that I had used in the past, where we processed the 4 teachers' summer pays in '23, so it would be expense, but they're paid out during July and August on the dates they're supposed to be. So there was one timing issue that results from that, is the Medicare expense is recognized in the same fiscal year as all the payroll expenses. So the town just has to take the one-time hit on this, because before it was being encumbered, which is, I believe is more of a lengthy process, not as efficient as doing this. And that'll just bring it into consistency for future years.
Any questions on this one?
I have one question, because I'm not sure I'm following. Are we saying that these, we're in fiscal year '24 for the transfer, but are we saying that, and I understand why it would be encumbered or PO'd, do these belong, does this Medicare cost actually, is it being expensed against the payroll that existed for fiscal year '23?
That's correct, yes.
So why wouldn't, I guess I take issue with bookkeeping in a governmental ordinance form when we did it a certain way for a really long time. And if we're normally encumbering, I mean, it sort of says you have to take the expense in the year that it happens, which is why we do a PO and why we expense it on our financials, because it'll go through the whole process. So I guess I'm a little concerned that we would do something that obscure when we, just to save some paperwork. Because we're really putting a fiscal year '23 expense into fiscal year '24 now.
No, this is a transfer request for fiscal '23.
Oh, okay. No, okay. So this isn't for '24?
No, it is
Okay.
not, no.
That was my first question. I guess we miscommunicated, because I said, is this a fiscal year '23 going into '24? But this is not. It's for
No, it
fiscal
is
year
not.
'24. Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions?
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next transfer coming from the DPW Highway. So we have DPW Director Paquin with us. Hi, Joanna.
Evening.
Okay, this one, probably pretty self-explanatory, but thank you for joining us. It's coming from the Civil Engineer 2 account. The amount requested, $3,998.18, going to the overtime account, and this just says this transfer will eliminate the deficit in that overtime account. Do we have any questions for the DPW Director?
Motion approved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, you do have a couple, you have one additional one, I guess, that falls under you. Next one coming from the DPW cemetery, coming from the cemetery account, amount requested $330.35, going to Labor Parks, reason given, needed for wages. Any questions?
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor? All in favor? Very good, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Motion to adjourn?
That gets through all our transfers. We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. I'll even reach out.